mostly. So I have worked on multiple firewalls, ranging from legacy devices like NetScreen, Cisco ASA, and to multiple NGFW firewalls like FortiGate, SRX, Palo, and likewise. And I'm still trying to learn one of the other SWG products, which I'm currently gaining the knowledge and like hands-on to it. So what I bring on the table is the core concepts in terms of security, as in what is the challenge, what is the solution, and the way to think through the challenge, right? So it's like that is the main thing. You may be coming across multiple situations, multiple issues, but the point is like how to narrow it down, right? So that is what all matters. So that is a brief thing what I carry. And going further with reference to the case, with reference to this batch and all, this is going to be a demo class in terms of to set the correct expectation as like what is going to be covered throughout the course. Okay, how we are going to proceed into the course in order to cover any concept that we will pick up to do so. Okay, so it's like that is the main motive for this demo in class. Okay, so that being said, let me share my screen and let's start to see the course contents. Just give a moment. Okay, let me know if my once my screen is visible.
Yes, Rahul.
Okay. So this course will be focused entirely with reference to the FortiGate firewall. Okay, and we will try to cover up the concepts that is pertained to complete NSE 4 and NSE 7. Okay. Fortinet is the company. It is one of a leading business industry in terms of networking securities. It has multiple products under its belt. For an example, the widely selling products are FortiGate in terms of an NGFW firewall. Apart from that, it is also someone who makes FortiWeb, FortiAuth, FortiAnalyzer, FortiManager, FortiSwitch, FortiAP, okay, and likewise. So there are multiple products that this company makes, okay. So here we are going to focus our concept in terms of to understand the FortiGate product, okay. This is the NGFW firewall, that is next gen firewall, okay. So by definition of security domain, any firewall is said to be a next gen if it supports or gives you the functionality of IPS. Okay, so if it gives you the functionality of IPS, a device is considered to be a next gen firewall. So you will see that, like I mentioned, like for example, Juniper SRX is also an NGFW firewall. Cisco ASA is considered to be a legacy device, but now they have integrated themselves with one of IPS product which the Cisco has bought, and now they are pushing that ASA as a next gen as well. Okay, so the term next gen means that the device is capable to give you the functionality of the IPS. That is what it means. But when you talk about the products like FortiGates and all, it is much more than that. Okay, it is not only with reference to the IPS, but the FortiGate will give you much more functionality, ranging from multiple features that will be covered in the UTM or will be referred as an UTM, like web filter, DNS filter, application control, antivirus, IPS, file filter, DLPs, video filters. So there are a lot of functionalities which will together will garner and give you a complete secure sense as in how and why and where your traffic will be going. So you will have a much more granular control control your entire network. Okay, so that is what the FortiGate will give you. Apart from that, this is a firewall which is also very much compatible with reference to several other third-party products, which you will see in terms of the feature hosted as in security fabric. Okay, so FortiGate is a kind of an device similar to Palo, Sophos, Checkpoint. These are one of the leading firewalls, which will give you almost the complete sense of security concepts that is currently existing in the market. Now, that being said, the next question comes into the mind is like, hey, why I should go for the FortiGate firewall, right? Why not to go with some other different products to like learn and all, right? Maybe you are someone who is having it's like working knowledge in terms of network, routers or switches. You have no clue about security domains. And like that is what you are thinking that maybe this course would help you. Maybe you are someone who is in the IT industry as in support for servers or some other devices, but you are just trying to jump in terms of the networks, right? So no matter what your stats is, FortiGate Firewall has designed the course for especially NSE 4 and 7 is like it starts something considering the fact that you have no clue about security concepts. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, it is like going to start anything with reference to the basics, and like that is what I have to touch. Okay, it's my job to start anything with reference to the basics itself. So if I show you the course contents and all, but like before that, why the FortiGate, right? That like comes into the mind. So let me support the statement with reference to the Gartner reports. Okay, I see some messages in here. Just give a moment. Okay. Okay, the audio is not clear. Sarvanan?
No, it's clear.
I can hear voice clear.
All good.
Okay. The difference between NGFW and UTM, right? Okay, so as I said, see, NGFW is a term which simply says that the device is capable to give you the IPS functionality. Okay, whereas UTM means Unified Threat Management. In order to tackle a risk or a threat to your network, you cannot rely on a single specific features, right? The threats have many forms and shapes. So you have to tackle all those threats, no matter what form and shape that may come to your network. Okay, that has to be addressed in a proper manner. You have to identify it and take the action according to it. So for that, there are several features. For an example, web filter, application control, DNS filters, video filters, DLP, okay, IPS, antivirus. Okay, so these are some of the features which is part of UTM. So you club all the security features, and that is called UTM, Unified Threat Management. Okay, got the like difference between NGFW and the UTM term? Okay, fine. So now see, as I was saying that why like FortiGate, right? So let me just go through those slides quickly. So if you see in here, these are just last year data. Okay, you can see that even in the enterprise, because there are several types of businesses, right? enterprise businesses, SMB businesses, distribution level businesses, right? So small, medium, and high, correct? So you will see that no matter what the businesses are, Fortinet always has a leading edge, okay? Fortinet will always have a leading edge. See, it's on top, okay? No matter whether the business is small or big, okay, they are going to prefer Fortinet. That is FortiGate product, specifically in terms of securities. Now, if a product is being used widely or like mostly by most of the customers, so that will automatically create a demand for someone who has a skill set to manage and administer that specific Fortinet products, right? So this course, once completed, you will have it's like much more weightage into your profile if you have done your NSE 4 and 7 certifications. Okay. Now, that being said, see, who should go for this course, right? So like I said, that no matter what your background is, okay, to keep it simple, if you know that what is the MAC address, right? What is the IP? What is subnet? Okay, if I say that, okay, hey, there the OSI models, right? If I say that, okay, hey, this ARP is a layer 2 headers, right? ICMP is a layer 3 protocols, correct? So that should make sense that, okay, hey, what I'm talking about, right? What is layer 2? What is layer 3? What are the major protocols in terms of layer 3? IP header, right? What is the major protocol in terms of layer 4? TCP and UDP, correct? So if you know these basics, okay, which you can find anywhere just by Googling it, okay, so if you know that, this course is for you. See, why I need these terms to be cleared is because when I will be starting any topics or like anything I will like take up, I will be using these terms in order to explain you the packet flows and all the things, right? So if the words will not make sense, so you will have a hard time to grasp the concepts as well, right? So there is nothing big that you have to almost like be ready as into that, okay, fine, I have to learn the entire TCPs, IPs, or likewise, nothing like that, okay? But the terms should be very, very clear. You should know about the terms. When like someone is saying ARP, you should know that, okay, fine, he is like talking about to get the MAC address, right? That is where you need an ARP, correct? So the basics terms, if you know that, this course is for you, because rest all the basics to the end we will cover in this batch. Okay, no like problem on to that part. Now, with reference to the course as in for the NSE 4, okay, the NSE 4 wants you to have the concept as in that, let's say for an example, if a company has got or has given you a brand new firewall, okay, you are the one who is doing the unboxing of that FortiGate firewall. So you should be able to bring it up, take the firewall access, okay, you should be able to do minimum configuration, okay, so that the traffic can be flowed and all, okay, so in short, you should be able to manage the firewall, you should be able to do the configuration as per what your requirement is, okay, and basic troubleshooting. So this is the goal of the NSE 4 certification. Okay, so it's like that is what it will point out to. Okay, so now that being said, see the contents of your NSE 4, and then I will come to the NSE 7, and then I will tell you the difference between what the NSE 4 and 7 is, and like why this course is designed in order to club both the certifications in a single one. Okay, so let's first see the contents. So see, the contents are with reference to the first section is that it wants that you should know your device, right? So introduction as in what what is your device, what are the basics, like for example, default username and password, right? Default IP of your firewall, that what you will be using to take the access to. If you have got a FortiGate firewall, the cable has to be put on which port, right? So those basics stuffs, okay? And also to do an initial setups like setting up the interface IPs, defining the default policies, okay? And likewise, the concept of security fabric, okay? Firewall policies, so how to define the policies, how do they work, okay? What is the use case of these policies? Okay, NATing concept, as in to translate the source or destination IP and port. The entire NAT has to be covered in here. Firewall authentication, as in terms of local manageability. Okay, so like managing the firewall access is also one of a thing that we generally do not give a heed on to. But during the course, I will like tell you what are the security threats if you take this very, very lightly. Okay, so you have to be very, very serious when you define or when you like create any kind of an user who can access your firewall. Okay, so what are the precautions, what are the options that the firewall gives you to mitigate that? Okay, we also have to understand the logs, as in where to look at and how to make a sense out of it, right? So logging and like monitoring is the thing that we will touch. Certificate behaviors, how does your firewall uses the certificate, how you can create or generate the certificate, how you can import the certificate onto your FortiGate firewall, and most importantly, why you should do that, right? Why I will need the certificate, what is the use cases of it? Okay, so all these things will be covered in like certificate concept. Okay, these are your UTMs. This is your UTM features, which I was talking about. Okay, so web filter, application control, antivirus, and IPS. Okay, so NSE4 just want you to know that what are the options are in there and how you can configure or like use this to meet your need. Okay, that is what NSE4 wants you to cover on to all these 4 UTM features. VPNs in terms of SSL and IPsec both. So both the VPNs will be covered as in terms of configuration, use cases, and how to debug it, right? So how to see the logs, what are the messages, how does a VPN works? If you are stuck in certain situation where the VPN is flapping, going down, or no matter what the issue is, right? So how would you narrow it down? So everything will be covered onto that point of view. Routings, in terms of routings, we will be covering a static, PBR, that is policy-based routing, OSPF, and BGP. Okay, so these things will be covered. SD-WAN concepts, VDOM, cluster. So we have to understand the cluster functioning and how to form the cluster, what are the use cases of it, why do you need a cluster, right? Those things will be covered. Proxies, as in terms of inspection, will be covered. Okay, and of course diagnostics means the basic troubleshooting. Okay, the basic troubleshoot. What are the options or tools you have which will help you to narrow down or understand the root cause, what is why a certain issue is being triggered or not. Okay, now apart from this, if I quickly jump to NSE7, okay, to show you the contents. Now see in here, just focus onto this. Okay, you will find interestingly that see the topics. Security fabric you saw in the NSE4 as well, right? This is new, FortiOS architecture. This is an additional where it says that you should know how your device is built, right? Traffic and station monitoring, this is a new one, but you can say this is part of logging. Okay, this is a part of logging. So Routing is also included in NSE4. FortiGuard is a smaller concept. Okay, fine, it is also in there. HA is there, OSPF, BGP, web filtering, IPS, IPsec. This is a new one, right? And everything else is there, right? See? So it's like, it seems like 95% of the topics are already part of NSE4, correct? Yes or no? You see that? It's like content, modules, comparison. It's there, right? So what is the difference between NSE4 and 7? See, the difference is about the depth of the knowledge. Let me take an example in here. For example, let's say you want to block, for example, you want to block google.com. Okay, you simply want to block this website. So if you are someone who has got NSE4 knowledge, so you know that, okay, how I can block it. Okay, how I can block it. So I have to go to web filter and I have to define a static URL entry. Okay, and I will define the action as in block and it will be blocked. You know that. Okay, but let's say, for example, you have done the configuration as it should have been done, but still the website is not getting blocked. Okay, the customer comes back stating that, hey, I have configured the web filter as you asked me to do, and I have added the google.com into the blocking list, and still the google.com is accessible. Okay, the best an NSE4 knowledge can help you is to, you can simply verify the GUI logs and all. Okay, that's it. Okay, you will never be able to deep dive into this concept, because NSE4 only focuses on what? That you can configure the device, manage the device, and do the basic T-shoot. Okay, whereas NSE7 wants you to know as how and why the firewall is behaving in a certain way. Simple question. I added google.com into the web filter and it started blocking it. How? What did the firewall see? What is seeing it in the packet? How did the firewall know that this packet, what he is receiving, is a google.com traffic, right? And how it is blocking it, how it is allowing it. Okay, so in-depth knowledge, if you know that, so you know where the root cause is, right? So you know how a specific filter works, and that is where you will directly look into, and that will make sense to you. Okay, so that is why we have clubbed NSE4 and 7 into a same module, because starting a topic and like finishing it in between doesn't make sense. So if we will pick up a web filter topic, we will start from basic and we will complete it till the end. Okay, we will complete all the aspects as why, how, where, and why. Okay, so everything has to be covered onto that. So this is why this course is clubbed. Okay, and these are the topics that will be covered in the entire modules as in batch and all. Okay, pertaining to SD-WAN, we will be touching the SD-WAN concepts with reference to the FortiGate firewall. And please note, it will cover the entire SD-WAN functioning, because we are like going to see why we need an SD-WAN, what are the challenges that the SD-WAN helps you to address, which you cannot achieve from any other means. Okay, and of course, how to set up an SD-WAN. Okay, so everything with reference to an SD-WAN will be covered. Your AD VPN is nothing but hub and spoke. Okay, so we will not only touch the SSL VPN or the site-to-site and dial-up, but we will also complete the hub and spoke VPNs as well. Okay, looking into the debugs, how the VPN functions, messages, headers, and everything. Okay, so that being said, if there is any further questions and all, let me know. I see one message is there. Okay, Kumar Saran, not able to hear you. Okay.
Now he can hear you. No
Okay.
problem. Just continue.
Okay, fine. So I'm just taking a pause in here. Just like let me know if you have any concerns before I move further. Any question?
Hi, Roshan.
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, so right now, working with checkpoint firewall.
You are working on checkpoint.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we already enrolled for this course, and we are at to start the things. The complete course will be covered, like this FortiGate complete course will be covered complete details like in checkpoint we have a things like blades, right? Like where we can do URL filtering or like anti-mobile and HTTP inspection, and those things will be there in FortiGate.
Of course, the UTM features will be like covering all the aspects like web filter, which you have referred as an URL now, right? Applications, file filter to control the DLP's flows. Okay, the IPS functioning, how does an IPS identifies and stop the attacks? See, to be honest, okay, as you anyhow, we are like going to start the batch classes soon and all. So let me be very, very honest in here. Configuration is not a concern. Okay, that is something which I tell in every of the batch. You simply do a Google and you will find out the configuration. Okay, so I'm not going to teach you or like give much more time onto the configuration. Of course, while I will do the lab, we will be taking part, almost like taking care of the configuration. But my main motive is to give you the core concept as how each and why each and every function works and why it works in that specific way, right? We need the packet level knowledge.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, brother, no matter how good we are in theories, we have to work on the Wireshark PCAP files, right? We have to make a sense out of those packets captures, right? To see where the issue is.
Yeah.
So if your concepts are not that clear, configuration is not going to help you. Okay. So I am going to focus on that.
And one more thing, Roshan, like regarding for the labs, I think we got a mail from Pawan Kohli, like he shared some link for the video, labs where I cannot able to create a new lab, and one more thing, like for this lab session and everything, do we need to install any like Oracle VM and from there we need to do that?
Okay. So since you asked the question about labs, so that was something which I was going to come on to the next part. Okay, so let me share the screen again. Just give me a moment. I will just share it. Okay, so once everyone is like anyone who is enrolled into this course, you will be getting an email which will carry the lab URL as well as the link in order to, it's like the username and passwords, right? So all those things will be carried away in that. So like in this case, we have a cloud-based lab on the EVE platform, and there are multiple labs that I have configured, created and all. Okay, like for example, different lab for OSPF, hub and spoke, okay, clustering, okay, the basics lab. Most of the things I will be doing here itself, okay, to make the concepts clear and all. So the one which you saw was the basics lab only here. Okay, so now coming to the question that, hey, are we going to only work with reference to the labs that is defined, or if I want to work on something new, or I want to have a test lab to like do some practice work and all. So what to do onto that part, right? So you just have to do one thing. You have to just tell me the topology. That's all. I will create it for you. Okay, you do not have the access to create the labs, but I will create it for you and you can see it. Okay, whatever I will create, you will see it. Okay, and please note.
Okay, I got it.
Yes. Is there something?
Yeah, I got you. Like, we need to share the topology to you, and based on that, you will
Yes,
create a lab, and the same access will be given for every person.
correct, correct. And
Okay.
the next thing is that whatever the theory, okay, that we will discuss, okay, it's my job to prove that in the lab. Okay, don't believe my word what I say. Okay, unless I have shown you the logs. Okay, because me or you, it's never my words against yours or yours against mine, right? We all are going to believe what the logs are going to say, right? So whatever I will say, it will be supported by the logs. Okay, and whatever the lab that I will do, okay, I will never ever give any lab task which I have not done myself in the class. Okay, so I will do it by myself. I will show you how I am doing it, why I am doing in a certain way. Okay, we will like try to verify the logs onto it once we have achieved the task. Okay, if not, we will try to troubleshoot that. Okay, but at the end, once I have completed the lab, the same thing you have to repeat it. Maybe I will like twist some specific task and all, but mostly whatever I have done, I will be giving you the same thing. Okay, I'm not going to follow any kind of an approach like kind of in classes and all, right? You take your own time. Most of you might be working, most of you might be like going with some other works. Okay, so I understand that completely. Okay, so it's your own pace, how you want to complete the labs and all. And this is why there is no time frame as in when your questions or queries will be addressed. Okay, you can ask me your questions and queries anytime, at the start, in the mid, in the end, from the day one till the last day of this batch. Okay, so whatever the concept we have covered in the day one, if you have the query related to that in the last day, you can ask me that. Okay, so nothing like that. Okay, hey, you cannot ask me, or like that was the older topic and like that. Okay, nothing. Okay, whenever whatever comes to your mind with reference to the FortiGate firewall, feel free to ask me that. Okay, I will try to address all your concerns to the best of my like knowledge. If in case I have a doubt, I will be upfront and honest to you. Okay, give me some time. I will research onto it and I will get back to you. But I will be able to address your concerns at the moment, or like maybe after some time. That's for sure. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Registration. And one more thing, like from this particular portal, we can perform the lab directly without a requirement of any
No. You can
like
just open it.
Oracle VMR.
See, that is why I said that the lab is hosted on a cloud platform, right? You do not need to have some highly configured laptops or PCs, right? No matter what the configuration you have, just have an ISP connection. That's all. Just have a good broadband, and you are good. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now coming to the timing of the classes. The classes is supposed to be on Monday, Tuesday, and like Wednesday. Okay. The classes will start at 10 o'clock in the night, which will go officially till 12, but that may extend for half an hour or so, depending upon how we want to learn and all. Okay, so it's up to you guys. Okay, I don't have a limit for the 2 hours or 3 hours. You want for 4 to 5 hours, I am also okay with that. Okay, so it's up to you. How do you want to take the batch further? But minimum time will be 2 hours daily on Monday, Tuesday, and like Wednesday. Okay, I'm not too sure. There has been a certain change into my working schedule, so maybe either we will have on Monday, Tuesday, or like Friday, or maybe on Monday, Tuesday, or like Wednesday. Okay, but that is something which I will communicate to you on the batch. Okay, I see one more message. Just give a moment. Hey, that's a very good question. So Sarvanan has asked that how important is doing certification than just gaining knowledge. So I will, so see, this is a question where if I say certification is important, maybe some of you would agree. If I say knowledge is important, that is also true. But with my experience, how I have progressed and like seen that certification does not matter if you have a right knowledge, because after all, like let's say for example, I myself interview a lot of people in my own companies and all. Okay, so if I see a certification, or if my colleagues do see that the candidate has got a CCIE or something like that, okay, so the bar of the question increases, okay, the expectation increases, correct? So in like that case, you have to anyhow prove yourself that you have really earned that. Okay, so no matter whether you have got the certification or not, at the end of the day, you have to prove your skill set by showing your knowledge. Okay, so if I say that, hey, let's say for example, I'm saying that the VPN is flapping. Okay, so what could be the possible cause? Just like I'm asking you to troubleshoot. So there can be 10 number of reasons that I can list which could have caused the VPN flap. But the point is how you are thinking onto it, right? So you can only address all those 10 concerns if you have a basic core knowledge. So at the end of the day, the knowledge matters, man. Okay, so I will always go with gaining knowledge rather than gaining a certification. So like that's my view. Okay, so it is like something which is like debatable, but that's my take. Okay, I have a next question which says I am, just a moment, let me read that. I'm working on I'm working as server admin, so what should be my route after learn firewall? Hey, if you are working as a server admin, and if you have gone through this course, okay, your next route would be to like get yourself cracked into the network domain. Okay, either move internally into the network team. Okay, and like you can start it from like there. Not a problem with that. But the major thing is, since you are from the server admin team, so I would strongly recommend you to start looking into the headers. Okay, the IP header, DNS header, DSCP header, TCP headers. Okay, TCP IP functioning. Like for example, congestion control. How does a TCP function onto the congestion control, the flow like mechanism? Okay, so all those things, just try to look into that. That will give you the much more confidence, and you can easily crack onto any of the network initial jobs. Okay, the next question is, now I am working on Sophos. Okay, what is technically and security-wise difference between Sophos and Fortinet Firewall? Hey, see, Sophos is also a next-gen firewall, if I'm not wrong, right? Correct, Sanjay?
Yes.
Yeah, so now the question comes as, hey, what is the like difference between Sophos and like Fortinet Firewall? The answer to that is, it's all about the stability. Okay, the way the firewall is stable in like managing millions of sessions at the moment. Okay, so if you will refer the FortiGate firewall capacities, okay, you will find there are huge numbers. Okay, the firewall has proven it records into a tremendous network setups, no matter where you deploy it. All the functions will work without adding a latency into your network. So it's not only about the performance, but also it includes sense of securities at the same time. Okay, the next thing is the way it has simplified the functioning, almost like the configuration and the logging. Okay, and believe me, that is the best thing that I like about the FortiGate firewall, because the logs are really very good to understand. You do not need to focus on some error codes or something which you do not know. Okay, that will make no sense to you, right? Something written XY200-DDRP, something like that, right? So that will make no sense. But the FortiGate logs are very good. Okay, they like gives the customer confidence as in what is going on, and like where to look at. So those are the things. Okay, so while we go into the course, while I will start you to tell the architecture of the FortiGate firewall and how it functions and why it functions, you will feel the difference why the FortiGate is far ahead as compared to Sophos. Okay. And coming to Pankaj, if sometime due to shift unable to attend the class, then same lecture recorded session on board. Yes, see, every class will be recorded, okay, and it will be posted onto the portal in next day. Okay, so if you have missed the class because of any reason, you can always refer that video back. Oh, okay. Next question is from when this course will start? Next Monday. I think so. Yes, yes. Next class is from Monday only. That is correct. Okay. Anything else, guys? Any questions?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have one question. I think I have posted it earlier. So
Okay.
if I see the site for the certification, I think they have changed the name from NSE 4 to NSE 7, and I think they have put it as Fortinet Professional and Z.
Yes, correct.
So the one which you are teaching, right?
That is an old that's the same thing, but that like terms has not been modified into my slides. Okay, so just pardon me for that. Okay, but like that's the same thing.
So that would be Fortinet Professional, if I'm not wrong. NEC 4 plus NE 7, is that correct?
I think so. I'm exactly not sure of the terms and all, but yes, that is what.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and yes, one more thing. Okay, let me be very clear, because I because I've seen that these questions come in back when the batch is started. Okay, please note, as I've said in my opening is a statement that this course is going to be completely focused on the FortiGate firewall. Okay, end to end FortiGate firewall, complete with reference to the FortiGate firewall itself. Okay, so apart from that device, no other product will be discussed, whether it is FAZ or FMG, that is Forti Analyzer or Like Manager. Of course, we are going to cover that how you will configure your FortiGate firewall in order to integrate or like sync up with the other products. That is something which we will be covering in the security fabric concepts. But that does not mean that we are going to learn the FAZ or FMG. Okay, clear? This is entirely FortiGate firewall, and like duration of the course would be around 50 hours. Okay, that is minimum that I need to complete the end-to-end basics concepts till the end. Clear, guys?
Yes, Roshan.
Okay, fine then. So if you have any other questions, let me know, please. Anything?
One more
I
question.
think there are a few questions in chat.
Okay, yeah, let me, oh yes, I do see that. Just give a moment, let me go through that. Is there an exam preparation after the batch? Okay, hey, Libin, I will be answering this question in the batch. Okay, this is a live streamed recording, so I cannot about that right now. Okay, how I will help you to go with the certificates and all. Okay, so I will take that question in the class. Okay, and Pankaj is saying I'm working as senior network engineer now and worked on router and switches only, so I need to learn from basics. So the course is usable. The course is meant for you, Pankaj. You have worked on router and switches. The course is for you. Okay, this will open the door for the securities. Okay, and this will cover majority of the concepts when you are going to deal with the security. Okay, and the most thing is, it will help you to think as a security engineer. So what is the difference between a network, router, switching engineer and a network security engineer? Okay, both are going to deal, after all, everyone has to just perform a single job, that is to route a traffic from point A to point B. That's all, right? That is all what we are here to do, correct? But there are certain way to think, as in what could be the potential risk, threats, and if that is, then how we can tackle it. Okay, so that's an additional into it, right? So if you are someone with the background of network, this course is for you. Okay, you will be really at an gaining point once this course is completed. Okay, the next question is the dashboard which we use in lab and the FortiGate dashboard and controls will be the same. Yes, of course, it is exactly going to the same. Okay, in the lab, what we are going to do, you will find no difference whatsoever when you're going to work in a production network. The only difference is the licensed feature. Okay, so there are some features which will not have any impact. It's like majorly minute difference when we are going to cover this course. But apart from that, you will see 99% of things exactly same. Okay, and what will be the difference with reference to license features? All things will be discussed. Okay, I will not be leaving anything onto that part. Okay, let me go with the next. Difference between software firewall and hardware firewall. Okay, you mean VM and hardware, right? The firewalls which were deployed in a VM setup or maybe in a cloud, or and a firewall which is deployed in a on-prem, correct? Data centers and all. That is what your question is, Saravanan? Hey, Saravanan. Okay, yes, okay, fine. So, okay, see, as in terms of capacity, the answer is no, there is no difference. As in terms of functioning, is there a difference? No. As in terms of configuring, manageability, troubleshooting, is there any difference? The answer is no. So then what is the add-on in here, right? So the add-on is always with the virtual firewall. Okay, the reason behind that is because if you have bought an hardware, okay, after 3 or 4 years, a certain release will not be compatible with your hardware, and at the end you have to upgrade your hardware itself. And upgrading the hardware will always have 2 major challenges. First, of course, cost. The cost to your company is going to be high. And second, deployment. Because whenever you will be deploying a physical or like replacing a physical device, there has to be a major downtime that you have to take and like put that device in there, turn it on and see if everything is working fine or not. If something goes wrong somewhere, you have to fix it then and there, right? So deployment challenges are there. Whereas if you will compare the same thing with reference to virtual, okay, in the virtual you have a very, very controlled setup. Okay, you do not have an additional cost. The only thing you have to do is renewal of the license, which you anyhow do in terms of the hardware firewalls. So if your business was supposed to handle 500 gig traffic in year 2023, and maybe your business projection is to increase up to 2 terabytes in next 5 years, you do not have to replace your firewall for that. You simply have to renew your license. That's all. Okay, so as far as the cost is considered, it is much more cheaper, giving you the same functions. And as far as deployment is considered, since you are not changing anything into your network, so there is no downtime. Okay, so you will always see people nowadays are moving mostly on the cloud firewalls, VM firewalls. Okay. Jay, you provide any study material in the form of PDF or something? Okay, as far as the study materials or something is considered, so as I said, I will take these questions when in the first class itself. Okay, so I will be addressing that. Okay, so please spare me today onto this part. Okay, as I cannot speak something onto the live recording sessions. Okay, I have a question regarding MPLS and policy routing. Can I MPLS and policy routing? So okay, yeah, tell me. Okay. Access.
Roshan, regarding for resume building, like, will you let us know what are the projects we need to keep and everything will be taken care from your side on that?
I'm sorry, Kumar. Can you please come again?
Regarding for the resume building, for the projects also, like as we need to showcase, we worked on some project which is relevant to FortiGate.
Mhm.
So will that be help? Like you can help us to create a proper resume for applying the job and everything.
See, you might have noticed when I was showing you the content of the course, I was using a term that we will discuss the use case of it, right? See,
Yeah.
I should know now that, see, if I'm telling you that, okay, hey, see, these are the commands to see the debug, and like this is how you see the debug, and this is what you will make a sense of it and done. Okay. So now it's like what to do with that, right? Did you get any cases onto like challenges to work on? Okay. As I said, I am still a working professional in this domain, and I come across certain tricky situations on day-to-day like basis. I will be putting all those cases in our classes. Okay, we will have a thorough brainstorming on to that how we can troubleshoot it. Okay, and like you can use those live cases to use or like to like support that you have worked on onto your FortiGate firewall. Okay, hey, just wait, please. Gaurav, who is from Network Kings? Gaurav ji.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you please
I'll
stop
stop.
live recording?